From dismissing the likes of Duncan Fletcher and Kapil in the early 80s to troubling Ricky Ponting and his side in the 2003 World Cup, Aasif Karim's story is one to be enjoyed with absolute bewilderment. Aasif Karim was the first major sportsman to come out of Mombasa, a coastal city in Kenya. Initially beginning with a career in cricket, he expanded his expertise to tennis and volleyball as well, making him a household name in Kenyan sports circles. Tennis, almost a family sport, coupled with his dad's superstardom, meant that the sons Arif and Aasif also took a keen liking to the sport. Thanks to Aasif's exploits in club cricket, the teenager was fast-tracked to the national side that toured Zimbabwe on an unofficial tour, where he took the prize cap of Duncan Fletcher off his very first ball. He shared a bit of a love-hate relationship with cricket, as he continued to pursue a career in tennis post the tour as well. Tennis scholarships were arranged for both the kids at a college in Palm Beach, Florida. In the US, Aasif honed his skills as a tennis player and also worked on other essentials such as fitness and stamina. He held an enviable 46-4 record in the US college tennis circuit. While he did play a bit of club cricket whenever he could, tennis seemed to occupy most of his time. Post-college, he returned home to represent Kenya at the 1988 Davis Cup. Around the same time, Aasif also resumed his stormy affair with cricket. Playing against the private Indian Stars side, the slow left-armer snarled the prized wickets of Dilip Vengsarkar, Kapil and Roger Benny. This was the first sign for Karim to probably consider a switch from tennis to cricket. The tour turned out to be a precursor for many more players to come and play in their local leagues. Some of the prominent names that went on to feature in this league included Balwinder Sandhu, Sandeep Patil and Sanjay Manjrekar. Karim's watershed moment came in 1992 when he was faced with the unique situation of playing the doubles and singles final at the Kenya Open along with the club cricket game. Having decided to give all three games a go, he didn't really fully comprehend what he had signed up for. Sadly for him, he ended up losing both the finals and was forced to forfeit the club game due to a delay in start. Kenyan cricket's moment under the sun came in the 1996 World Cup, where they had qualified to represent their nation for the first time. Most of the Kenyan players were here to fulfill their dream and rub shoulders with the best in the business. After unsurprisingly losing their first 4 games, they headed to Pune for their 5th game against the West Indian side that included the likes of Brian Lara, Shivnarine Chandrapal, Courtney Walsh and Curtly Ambrose, amongst others. They got off to the worst possible start, as Kenya had to fly from Patna to Delhi, then to Mumbai and finally take a bus to reach Pune on the night before the game. Defending a paltry 167 in the second innings, Kenya produced an upset for all of us to remember, as they bundled the famed West Indian side out for just 93. Aasif Karim, despite taking just the 1 wicket, played the crucial role of holding one end up, allowing Maurice Odumbe and Rajabali to wreak havoc from the other end, as they ended the game with 3 wickets apiece. Known for his ability to bowl tight lines, he ended the tournament with an economy of 3.6, better than Anil Kumble, Muttaya Muralidharan and Shane Warne. Karim himself rose to the limelight thanks to a fantastic 50-ball spell against defending champions Australia in the 2003 World Cup, making an against-the-odds comeback into the Kenyan side after last representing them in the 1999 World Cup 4 years ago. The 40-year-old was unsure of what to expect. The Kenyan cricket side arrived in Durban with the top 4 spot all but secured. After bowling just 11 overs across 2 games in the World Cup, the spinner was brought into the side for their final group stage game. Breckley's pyrotechnics with the new ball ensured that Kenya were defending no more than 175 against an Australian side that hadn't lost their last 10 World Cup encounters. So the result was never really in question. And if there were any, Gilchrist answered them the best way possible, as the Australians raced away to 96 in just 11 overs. By the time Karim walked in to have a go, the equation was even more skewed. 66 runs required in 210 balls. Bowling to Ricky Ponting, the task was cut out for Karim. And boy did he rise to the occasion. After almost dismissing him off his first ball, he beautifully set him up to trap the Australian skipper plumb in front with an arm ball. Next up was Darren Lehman. Considered to be one of Australia's better players of spin, he was befuddled by yet another arm ball, as Aasif Karim did a celeb repeal that would make Stuart Broad proud. Promoted up the order to fill in for the injured Damien Martin, Brad Hawke handed Karim his third and final wicket for the game. It's not often that you hear this, but more than those wickets, it was a spell that made this performance more memorable. Up against two of the most aggressive hitters of the white ball, Aasif Karim bowled his customary tight lines for 6 overs and change. His figures, an astonishing 3 for 7 in 8.2 overs that also included 6 maidens. To add more context, runs bled from the other end as the batters scored 62 runs in just 7 overs at the same time. His fantastic spell earned him a reward that even Brian Lara and Sachin Tendulkar couldn't achieve. Player of the match versus Australia in the World Cup. Thank you so much for watching this episode of cricket.com Classics. Keep watching the space for all your World Cup needs and subscribe right now if you haven't already.